Hey folks, Vlad aka Whiskey Fox right here. Let's take a look at World War III, an arcade milsim FPS by the Farm 51 studio out of Poland. That was a mouthful. I'm going to briefly cover my first impressions and what I love about the game, and finally we'll look at some benchmarks on my System Oscar mic. There's a lot of talk of World War III being a Battlefield 4 clone, and while I do see some minor similarities and perhaps the UI elements, calling this a clone is such a disservice to World War III and the developers over at the Farm 51. I find this game to be much more appealing, and I'll explain as we go. Excuse me. For starters, I'm glad to finally see a modern era FPS. I've had it with the regurgitated Battlefield games from the early 1900s. You all know what I'm talking about. Enough is enough. I've seen my share of it. I've played the betas, and I'm not even gonna bother with the upcoming releases. Anyway, thank you Farm 51, or thank you to Farm 51 for giving me options. World War III is based on 1:1 scale environmental maps, making battle space feel massive. And again, I'm not into the overly arcadey FPS games where you grab an objective, take one step to the left or to the right, and you're on your next objective. So maybe I served up an extra side of exaggeration there, but you get the idea. I don't like small maps, and this provides the large scale battle space that I love. Now, if you like small maps though, don't let this scare you away. You'll be kept pretty busy where you probably won't even notice the scale, the sheer scale of this game. Yeah, the next point I can appreciate as well is in the armor and ballistics mechanics. From the few hours I've been able to play, it seems fairly authentic for a game. If you're used to one-shotting your opponents as a mere private, like within your first few minutes of getting into a game, this may take some getting used to. Unless you actually hit your target in critical spots with the right weapon and certain level of accuracy, or luck for that matter, you'll just be wearing down their armor slowly. And if you're looking for arcade-style instant gratification, you'd better learn how to gear up and how to effectively shoot in game. The way you gear up and the type of mods you use on weapons all affect your effectiveness in game. I do like that reward system though. The more you play, the better you get, and it's not like you'll have special or unrealistic perks like being invincible for an X amount of seconds, or sprint 6 times faster than a damn cheetah in heat. They're pretty realistic. It is just like in real life. The more you work out, the stronger you get, the more you shoot, the better you get, and all that good stuff. So time will tell how the progression system develops, but so far props to the devs for keeping it realistic while still it's still fun to play. Speaking of fun, did I mention bunny hopping? You know what I'm talking about, right? I am so glad that colorful arcadey shit isn't part of this game. Those annoying jumpy little shits. It's such a stupid mechanic used in other games, and it's just damn annoying. And that's another big thank you to the devs for that. Don't get it in the game, I'll be done playing this too. That's one reason I can't play. Well, I'm not gonna mention other games. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Bunny hopping. No bunny hopping in here. Kudos. And so because of the mechanics, firefights can be intense. The focus on tactics within the squads to acquire given objectives, either to defend or attack, seems very appealing to me. I love playing in organized groups, and the massive environment allows for realistic scenarios in game. Team play is definitely encouraged, but not necessary, as I've been able to capture a few objectives on my own while holding off would-be attackers. So I haven't played long enough to see how orders can be given in game, and so for now I'll depend on voice comms within or for play with my squads. I don't think in-game VoIP is available yet. I don't know if there's talk about introducing in-game VoIP, but to be honest, I couldn't care less, as I'll be using our own comms anyway. So my first impressions, love the game, and I can't wait to see how it evolves over time. You know, I sincerely hope that hackers and cheats and all that crap are mitigated, because that's going to be a big deal breaker for me. That's one thing I can't stand. It's as soon as a game is wide open to those, or if it's not being addressed by the devs, it makes play unbearable. So World War 3 is still in early access, and I'm pretty sure I'll be finding bugs or annoyances over time. And one of them is the overly reflective surfaces in game, which you may have noticed already. So it's not a game breaker, it's just a bit distracting at times, especially indoors with no overhead lighting. And even here, if you look on the streets, on the road, you can see like it just rained, but everything is shiny like that. Alright. Okay, enough nitpicking. Let's take a look at some benchmarks. Yeah, if you want to see more gameplay, I'll be streaming on my channel on Twitch at twitch.tv/WhiskeyFoxtrotActual. I'll be posting some links in the description below if you want to see that. But we'll be having some fun, and if you have the game you want to join up, hit me up on stream. I stream Monday through Thursdays from 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time to for about 4 or 5 hours every day. Fridays I don't stream. Saturdays it is really dependent on what I have going on the weekend, but I try to stream on Saturdays as well, same times. And Sundays I'm off, just a chill day with the family, etc, etc. Anyway, let's take a look at my system Oscar mic. Let's take a look at the benchmarks on my system Oscar mic. It is based on Ryzen 7 2700X with 2 Radeon RX Vega 64s, 32 gigs of DDR4 RAM at 3200 megahertz, and for the game I'm only using 1 GPU, which is more than enough. As you can see in a minute, the gameplay is overall extremely smooth. I'm playing right now at 1080p at ultra settings, but there is damn near no difference at 1440p. 1440p on my system is with a 3440 by 1440 monitor, so it pushes the resolutions, it pushes the frames and smoothness of the game overall very well. This part of the game seems very optimized. I know there are still some optimization issues with the logins, so getting into the game at times can be a pain in the ass, but they're working on it, and I'm confident they will. I mean, if they've gotten this far with an amazing game, you know, so that shouldn't be a big issue for them to resolve. Anyway, I digress. Benchmarks, here we go. So as you can see here, 1080p Ultra, I'm getting about 90 frames per second. There's some dips of course, but nothing that brings the average down or up for that matter. It is a pretty steady 90 frames, you know, it jumps down to maybe 97 or 79 and then back up to, you know, the 94s, 95s, and occasionally tops the 100s. So overall, the gameplay, this is on Ultra too, it is extremely smooth. Same with 1440p on Ultra. I get the 72s going up to the 80s, and occasional dips. I see some more dips here, or lower dips, but again not enough to bring it lower than the 70 frames per second. And again, this is on the Radeon RX Vega 64, and Ryzen 7 2700X, the AMD Ryzen 7 2700X. It doesn't, the game does not use the, well, of course, at the resolutions I play, but it doesn't really use the CPU at all. But if, you know, the CPU is not a bottleneck in this case at all. Anyway, that was a quick look at World War III. It's an amazing game. Check it out. It's on Steam right now. It is still in the US for $28. And I may be giving away some copies on stream as well. So don't forget to check it out. Twitch.tv/WhiskeyFoxtrotActual. And on Twitter, you can find me at twitter.com/Sergeant Whiskey. That's SJT Whiskey. Again, I'm your host of Vlad, aka Whiskey Foxtrot, proud AMD Red Team member, proud member of the AMD Stream Team as well. If the game is available on my upcoming stream, which is on Tuesdays on twitch.tv/AMD, I will be playing this as well, trying to check it out and see what people think of it. And if anybody has it, you're more than welcome to jump on. Again, thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, questions, etc., post them in the comments below, in the comment section below, and I'll try to respond when I get them. All right, folks. Take care and have a wonderful rest of the week. Vlad out.